with this experience, I really just wanted people to understand the vulnerability it takes.
Sit back, relax, and take your time. Ain't no pressure with the world.
Hey YouTube world, it's me Coco, and I am back with another video. And in today's video, the theme of it is really showing appreciation to yourself and celebrating yourself, not your accomplishments, not what you have in the physical, but yourself as a person, right? Like the things that you do, not to benefit anybody else, but to benefit yourself, right? So I'm about to get into a scenario to give you guys an example, like a thorough example, right? Because y'all know me, I like to talk about my life experiences in order to give some sound advice, right? So, okay, for those who follow me on Instagram, y'all know I was dealing with a situation with a stalker. Facebook and Instagram, right? Y'all know I was dealing with a situation with a stalker. And although I did, talk a lot about it, I really didn't put nowhere near all the information about the situation out there, right? I just did, surface level bullshit, honestly, right? So after I had Hideko, I went through postpartum depression, very severely, very heavy. And to be honest, I am so grateful that I pulled through, because honestly speaking, I don't know how I made it. I honestly don't, right? But I'm here, and I'm making it. I'm glowing. I'm happy. I'm in literally a better place physically too, but that's not what we're talking about, right? So I had Hideko in January of 2019, right? And I started dealing with the situation with the stalker in April of 2019, right? So that's less than 6 months of me having a baby. So of course it's going to spark some type of emotions, right? So like as a woman, anytime our uterus are going through a cycle, we are at our weakest and our most vulnerable state, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. When we are on our periods, we are at our weakest states. When we are pregnant, we are at our weakest states. When we are going through the first year of postpartum healing, we are at our weakest states, right? So that's why it's very important who we have around us at those times. But that's not what this is about, right? Fix it. Get up. You got to stand up. But that's not what I'm talking about. But I did have to clarify that, right? So anyways, I was dealing with this situation like 4 months after I had my daughter, right? So it's no surprise that it brought on postpartum depression, right? So on top of dealing with postpartum depression, I had to deal with being stalked. I had to deal with being harassed. I had to deal with being lied on. I had to deal with my personal business being put on social media. I had to worry about my child, because she really only talked about my oldest. I had to worry about my child being talked about. And I had to worry about threats from multiple people that is associated with the stalker, right? And that was a lot for one person. And I'm not going to lie, the type of person I used to be before I had kids, I would have handled that situation completely different. Like, I mean, I know I'm small in stature, but these hands are far from small. These feet are far from small. I mean, they are small, like in size, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I can pack a punch and I can pack a kick, right? The old me, as soon as the situation would have kicked off, the old me would have pulled up to shorty house and be ready to fight. And I'm not even slicing that. This actually happened from experience. I literally pull up to people's houses, no matter where the fuck you live at, and fight you. Like, I have no problem. Or I will meet you somewhere and fight you. Like, I really have no problems doing none of that shit, right? Like, I am pretty much fearless to a certain extent, right? But being as though I have children, and again, it was less than a year postpartum, I wasn't trying to be out there acting stupid and reckless, right? Don't get mad when you hurt yourself. Okay. And despite all of the pain that she has caused, all of the drama, the disruption, and inconvenience that she has caused, I still remain, respectful for the most part. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have gotten petty. When she talked about my child, I talked about her child, you know, shit like that. When she started really, really lying on me and putting my business out there, at some point I did have enough and I started putting her business out there. But for the most part, I still remain respectful, right? And I have all the screenshots of me, texting her, trying to be respectful, trying to be cool, trying to alleviate the drama, all that good jazz. Because again, I'm grown, I got children, I don't have time for drama. I'm not trying to fight, I don't want to be out in the streets. I'm not trying to go ahead. I'm not trying to get locked up, right? What? Then go. Then go. I can't do the shit that I used to do before I had kids, right? So the way that I am now, which is like, celebrating myself, celebrating my qualities, celebrating my growth, because again, this is a reflection of my growth. The old me would have been pulled up and did something. The old me would have, and honestly, I would have came to that shorty house alone. Whether she got people with her or not, I still would have came alone, right? And if I didn't come alone, I would have had people who can handle business come with me, right? But I didn't. I remained respectful. Well, not remain, but I tried to be respectful. I tried to be grown. I tried to be the bigger person. Despite how that fucked me up, I still tried it, right? So that's growth. That's acknowledging the growth, right? Then acknowledging that not only did I pull through postpartum depression by myself, but I also pulled through getting stalked and harassed and threatened and all that shit by myself. I got through having my personal space invaded by a complete stranger and her friends by myself. Now, I'm not flexing and saying, I did it by myself, so I'm the strongest person out here, I'm the best person out here. I'm adding emphasis on by myself because, one, I actually did it by myself. So it shows the level of strength and tenacity that I have. And then also, to show you that you can get through it by yourself. And if absolutely you can't get through it by yourself, that is okay. There is no shade, no shame or anything with needing help. We all need help at some point in life, right? We just choose what aspects we need help in, right? And again, I've been dealing with this whole situation since 2019. And it is now 2021. Right? 2 years. I've been dealing with the same situation. And I got the download today to really celebrate myself, to really honor myself, because if I really would have matched energies the way I wanted to, and I really handled the things the way that the old me would have handled things, things would have went way left, way quick, and it would have went to the extreme, because I'm an extreme person, right? I'm either very chill or I'm very extreme. There is no in between, right? And for the most part, I've really been very chill about everything that's been going on, right? But to acknowledge the growth and the strength is such a beautiful thing. Like, y'all just don't understand. And I'm about to cry because I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so happy that despite the shit that they put me through, I made it through. Not only for my satisfaction, but at the end of the day, I still don't wish harm on them, right? I still don't want to fight them. I actually wish them the best. Despite despite the fact that I should wish that they get what they deserve, I actually wish them the best. Because at the end of the day, I just know that they need healing and they need saving. I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual. I'm on my own path. But these people need God. They need Jesus and they need God. They really need to be saved before they start anything else. Because these are the type of people who cannot lead themselves to salvation. These are the type of people who cannot lead themselves to greatness. They need to be led. And they're affiliated with the wrong people, so they're being led the wrong way. And all I hope for them is for them to be led down the right path, for them to heal. Because they have kids on top of that. And I feel like kids don't deserve none of that shit. If you're not going to do better for yourself, at least do better for your children. Right? Your children are watching you. Your children are copying you. Right? I really more so wanted so that way they to help them break their generational cycles and curses. Because your children don't deserve that. They don't. They don't deserve a mother that's out here fighting. They don't deserve a mother on drugs. They don't deserve a mother that's neglectful or ripping and running the streets or out here in everybody's faces but not in their faces, right? No kid deserves that. No kid deserves a hurting mother who in turns be a hurtful mother. Because some of us can be hurting but won't be hurtful. And there are some of us who are hurting and are hurtful. Kids don't deserve hurtful mothers, right? Like, celebrate yourselves, right? No matter how big or how small. If you got into an altercation and you handled it a certain way, celebrate it, right? If, your finances aren't really up to par and you got everything you need, celebrate it, right? If, you don't necessarily have the type of food that you want, but you have food, celebrate it, right? Even though I said don't talk about the physical, but, that's something to celebrate, right? If you know that you're depressed and you're happy today, celebrate it. Or if you're not as depressed, celebrate it, right? Even if you are depressed, even if you have been okay and you're feeling depressed, celebrate it. Why celebrate depression? Because it just means that you're human and you feel life. And sometimes life will kick your fucking ass. And that is absolutely okay. No matter how tough it is absolutely okay. Because that ass kicking is just building strength. Okay? When you get anxiety, celebrate. Why celebrate anxiety? Because even though you kind of fear what the future may hold, in a sense you are also happy with what the future may hold, right? Celebrate that. Celebrate that you're actually looking forward to the future, whether you're in fear of the future or you're happy for the future. Celebrate the fact that you are looking for the future. That means that with anxiety, you know that there's going to be a future. You know that there's going to be a future. And what better way to know that you're living than to have anxiety, knowing that you're going to be around for the future, right? Like, celebrate those things, Celebrate being able to go to work every day. Celebrate being able to spend time with your children. Celebrate being able to sleep wherever the fuck you sleep at, right? Celebrate driving your car. Celebrate having a place to stay, whether it's a steady place or an unsteady place. Celebrate the fact that you have something. Celebrate the fact that you have an outfit on your back, right? Celebrate the fact that sometimes you cry. If you're crying, celebrate the fact that you're crying, whether it be tears of happiness or tears of sadness. Celebrate it. Just the season to be grateful. I mean, even though it's not the holiday season yet, it's the time to be grateful, right? Be grateful and really celebrate all the things that you have going on in your life, because at the end of the day, it could be a lot worse. And trust me, even though I'm in a good situation in some aspects, I'm also in a fucked up situation in other aspects. And I could focus on the fucked up aspects and dwell on it and get depressed and, ignore the things that are going right in my life. But all that's going to do is fuck me up even more. Whereas if I could focus on the things that are going right, I will be able to attract more things that goes right. Right? You want to pay attention to what you have versus what you don't have. You want to focus on solutions rather than the problems, because like they say, when it comes to something that you want to change, right, or something that you don't like, you always have to ask yourself, can I change it? If I can change it, why am I stressing about it? Why not focus on the solution and change it? And if I can't change it, then why stress about it? There is nothing that I can do to change it. So why would I give my energy to something that I really don't have no control over? Right? So, yep, that is it for today's video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of y'all day.